This is Cara Dutton, played by Helen Mirren, and Elizabeth Strafford, played by Michelle Randolph. These two women have a ton of scenes together in 1923.
We said our vows, we just left the law out of it and the preacher and everyone else.
That is the first good news these ears have heard in months.
I think it's fair to call it a mother-daughter relationship, even though technically they're mother and daughter-in-law to be. Remember, Liz and Jack haven't technically gotten married in front of family and God yet. We hardly saw them in episode 1, season 2, but that changed in a big way come episode 2. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I will say that part of our interview with Michelle Randolph was very relevant. Okay, so if your character, Elizabeth, had access to Google, what do you think would be the first thing that she Googles?
How deadly is rabies?
That was good.
Thank you.
If you know, you know. But I'll hush up and get right to Michelle talking to Helen Mirren. Subscribers appreciate that we're real humans who interact with you on email, comments, on social media, and subscribers do appreciate that we get straight to the point. So here's my favorite part from my interview with Michelle Randolph. I just asked her for a memory with either Harrison Ford or Helen Mirren.
Honestly, like every moment on set with them, it's crazy because like I learned so much in scenes with both of them. I mean, I worked a lot with Helen specifically, but like just getting to know her off screen too. Like you sit in chairs on set for so many hours, and she just like she couldn't be more lovely. She was always concerned that I was cold, which I found very sweet.
Were you always cold?
Yes. Yes, I was.
There's more, including a hard-earned lesson Michelle came away with a show that, let's face it, is hard-earned. Plus why she got really upset with creator Taylor Sheridan. During season 1, her character was shot, kind of abandoned by an angry husband, her dad was killed, her mother left her, and then she suffered a miscarriage. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I will say things do not get better for her in season 2. See the whole rabies comment above.
I think there's like multiple scenes in season 2 that were just like hard to come off of because like the stakes are really high in season 2 and there's a lot of tragedy that goes on, and like when you care about a character a lot or you're on set all day in these like very intense emotional scenes, it's like you can't just like turn it off immediately, but like I spent so much time with the cast and crew that like we all just really were there for each other throughout the whole filming process. And also I think like genuinely the most emotional scene for me was just the very last one, because it's like, oh my gosh, we're wrapping up another season. I'm not ready to say goodbye right now.
Wait, rewind that part?
We're wrapping up another season. I'm not ready to say goodbye right now.
Did anyone else catch that she said another season and not we're wrapping up this show? Season 3, question mark? Coming up, how Yellowstone inspired Michelle's acting on 1923 and the reason she got really mad at writer Taylor Sheridan. But first, I want to know if you think she ends up being the mother to John Dutton as played by Dabney Coleman in Yellowstone. I mean, it's either her or Alexandra, right? Comment below as she keeps talking about Helen Mirren, who sounds like she's an amazing woman.
There's so many things that Helen taught me, or just like things that she would say that have really stuck with me and will forever. But like the number one thing that I have taken from working with her is that like she genuinely loves this and she's so passionate, and like every single day she cares about every single scene and every take. And I think just like that level of dedication is why she is who she is. And so I was just very inspired by that.
Elizabeth, breakfast is ready.
I think that scene shows how Elizabeth is earning her stripes on the ranch. It's interesting because she has 2 generations of Yellowstone franchise women to draw inspiration from, and she said that she did draw inspiration from those women. How much did knowledge of what the Dutton family becomes in Yellowstone shape your character? Kind of like working backwards, how did that shape it for you?
Just how strong the women are, especially Beth Dutton, like her fiery side and the like strength of the Dutton women, I think is like what I took most from watching Yellowstone. And I also actually felt that way about 1883 too, is Elsa. And I love that she narrates the show. Like I just think that's such a, like it's it's very sentimental. It makes me emotional to like hear her voice because I was so attached to her character in 1883.
You'll find the full unedited interview with Michelle Randolph on the Dutton Rules podcast that airs Monday, March 10th. That's 1 week after our full interview with Julia Schlafer, aka Alex. Links below in the description section, and I have one more bonus clip for you before we close. Thank you so much for watching, subscribing, and always leaving comments. Talking about this show is almost as good as watching.
What has been the biggest script surprise to you? And did you ever at any point get angry and almost come up to Taylor being like, excuse me, can we rewrite this a little differently?
I think I felt that more so in season 1 because when I first booked the job, like I only had the first 3 or 4 scripts. And so like throughout filming is when I would get the new episodes. And I thought for so long of season 1 that I would be written riding a horse because I was like, I just went through 2 weeks of cowboy camp. Like there's no way I'm not going to. And so that was definitely something I was like, when I saw Taylor, I was like, can I please get on a horse? At least like I have this skill now. I need to show it. So that was, yeah.
Well, then I guess and because this is not a spoiler necessarily, but do you eventually get to go on? Michelle, are you going on a horse at some point?
I can't tell you.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
I feel like dang it. Okay.